Brands on Brands.
Hey, what's up? It's Brandon here. Today on the show, we're talking about 5 personal branding mistakes that are costing you clients. Check it out.
In a world where content is king and your reputation is your brand, how do you build a brand that matters? Welcome to Brands on Brands, a home for those that think different and push their boundaries. This is where branding that matters lives. Now, here is your host, Brandon Birkmeyer.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Brands on Brands. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer, your personal branding coach. And today we're talking about 5 personal branding mistakes that are costing you clients. Yes, that's right. You are driving people away sometimes with the things that you do and say. What are those things? That's what we're going to jump into. But first, if you have not checked out the Brands on Brands newsletter, you're missing out. Just go to brandsonbrands.com. Right there on the homepage, you can log in, subscribe, get the information that I'm sending out every week that is very different from the podcast. Check it out. Best thing you'll do this week. All right. So what are these mistakes that we make? I want to give you a couple of sides of them. But the first mistake that people make is inconsistent messaging across platforms. Inconsistent messaging. So yes, when I say across platforms, the first thing is what you're saying in one place should be the thing you're saying everywhere. But more importantly, let's talk about consistency and the choice you make to pick what you're known for. Now, this is something that I stumbled across because I often slow myself down because I'm afraid of being known for the wrong thing. And there are products that I don't want to put out or over promote because I don't want to become known as that person. And that's held me back because what's actually easier is to become known for one thing and then to grow and adapt and change. Like the Amy Porterfields of the world, she was known for Facebook ads for a very long time and then pivoted and then became the course creation guru. Taki Moore is one of the coaches I follow a lot. He has a program called $1 Million Coach. He was known for webinars, like just how to run amazing webinars, and got a lot of speaking gigs and traction based on that, and then grew to the how to make money as a coach person. A lot of people start somewhere and they end up somewhere else, but the consistency comes from when you are in the middle of something, you are just talking about one thing. You have one message, the thing that you want to be known for, and you can change later, but don't be talking about different things. Don't be the messaging person and the webinar person and the how to make money as a coach person. Pick one thing. What's helpful is if you have an umbrella, if you have an umbrella brand that's, what I like to say is I want to be remembered as the person who talks to you about personal branding. Within that, I talk about how to create content, how to build community, how to make an impact. And I have courses on how to podcast and how to build courses and things like that. But it's all personal branding. These are all tools in the personal branding kit. So if you have an overarching theme, that helps you with that consistency. And then, align them across platforms. When you're talking about it one place, talk about it every place. Make it memorable so people, when they think of you, they think of another word that lets them know what you're about. You're the resilience person, the confidence person, the personal brand person, the Instagram person, whatever it is. All right, number two, personal branding mistakes that are costing you clients. A weak or non-existent online presence. A weak or non-existent online presence. A lot of you are out there, putting yourselves out there every day, in person, shaking hands. I love that approach. But especially my older friends out there that have been afraid to go online and share their story, you're hurting yourself. You're not taking advantage of where attention is today. I see this in a lot of speakers that I meet, public speakers, keynote speakers that have really built a name for themselves in the speaking industry. They're only relying on referrals at this point. And then when you start to see the young up and comers, what do they have? They have an amazing YouTube presence. They have not just one speaker reel, they have amazing content every week. They have their own platforms. They've built their own audience. They have a strong online presence. So when you are lacking that, and you haven't kept up with the times, you're going to be passed by the people who are doing it. And that's sad because you've built the credibility. You've put in the reps. So why not take a step back and say, what can I do to use all the momentum I've built to this day to build that online as well, to make sure I'm discoverable and competing in the right places? All right. Number three, from the personal branding mistakes that are costing you clients, number 3 out of 5, focusing on selling instead of building relationships. Focusing on selling instead of building relationships. Now, I think we've all encountered this. When you meet someone at an event or you get an email from someone, and instead of opening a relationship, they are opening the sales discussion. And man, it's the biggest turnoff right away. And you can smell it when it's coming. It's like, what is the thing that you're going to sell me next? These sleazy tactics don't work. The best thing you can do is start with a relationship in mind first. Let them know what you do, of course, and find ways to offer value. And yes, at some point you can say, by the way, I help people with this. So if you need help with this or know someone, let me know. That's very different. In our world of coaching, coaching is selling, selling is coaching. But that doesn't mean you should be selling. It means that you should be coaching and letting people know that you have value to offer if they need it. So think about building value first, because that's the way your relationships deepen overall. And that may not turn into a direct client, but it may turn into a referral that way. All right. Number four, personal branding mistakes that are costing you clients. Number 4, neglecting your unique value proposition. Neglecting your unique value proposition. What does this mean? Well, a unique value proposition, simply put, is that special thing that makes you you. What is that piece of what you do that is valuable, that is different than what other people do? Why is it special? A lot of people can do what you do. What about the way that you do it makes it better than other people? Why should they choose you instead of someone else? If you neglect that, you're just going to fade into the masses. You are one of many. You're a commodity. You're going to be lost in that sea of sameness. So, what can you do to stand out? How can you clearly articulate what it is that you do that makes you special? And the secret to all of this is intense clarity, really being clear. This is what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and why it's better and different. That clarity of vision and clarity of communication, how you tell people about it, is what is going to make you that go to market expert. It's what's going to make you magnetic in terms of drawing clients to you, because they clearly understand what you clearly articulated. Don't neglect your unique value proposition. And rounding it out here, number 5 personal branding mistakes that are costing you clients: ignoring feedback and trends in your niche. Ignoring feedback and trends in your niche. So, what does that mean? Well, in every category, there's going to be things that are happening. And if you're the one who's staying still, if you are stagnant and your industry is evolving, or your audience is trying to tell you something and you are not evolving or listening or adapting, they're going to leave you behind. Pure and simple. So the idea to fight against this is to understand the pulse of the industry, to understand what is next, what are people expecting? Because if the bar is being raised, you need to step up to that bar or fall behind. And one way to do that is by continuing to refresh your communication, refresh your brand and your strategy. What's going to keep you relevant? Because the competition's not slowing down. Yes, you can lean on your relationships, absolutely. But even in terms of how you manage those relationships, how you keep open communication and deepen and engage with your audience, all of that matters. So keep up with it. Look at what's happening in the industry, stay relevant, stay on top of what's new, what's hot. You don't have to pivot and pivot and pivot, but you do have to keep up with what everyone is interested in. So if I was doing a personal a personal branding podcast 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been talking about the internet or AI, but I am today. I use those tools and I have to talk about them, even though I don't want to become the AI expert. I need to know that it matters, that it's valuable. I need to use those tools so that I'm in lockstep with the people who are like, what should I do, Brandon? How do I use AI? So keep up with it. Stay on top of your niche. Understand what's happening in your industry. Be relevant. You do those 5 things, you will keep those clients coming back. Avoid those 5 personal branding mistakes. Here they are again: inconsistent messaging, a weak or non existent online presence, focusing on selling instead of building relationships, neglecting your unique value proposition, and ignoring feedbacks and trends in your niche. If you can avoid these 5 personal branding mistakes, you are one step closer to success. Excuse me. You are one step closer to success, my friend. And for that, I'm excited. I hope that you take these lessons, run with them, and continue to build that personal brand. As always, I've enjoyed your company. I hope you've enjoyed mine, and I will catch you next time.
You've just taken your marketing knowledge to another level with this episode of Brands on Brands. But we have plenty more ways to help you build a brand that matters. Head over to brandsonbrands.com for resources, as well as access to our blogs, videos, and exclusive coaching sessions with your host. Be sure to visit brandsonbrands.com.